Hey guys, Frightener22 here, welcoming you back to part 2 of my September 7th DVD update I got at that time. So let's go ahead and continue this massive update. The last Roger Corman Cult Classics title of this was actually the first double feature they've released in this lineup, and it was a double feature of Deathsport and Battletruck. Two really, really cool movies. I mean, Battletruck is so cheesy and goofy, but that's really the fun of it. But the real hidden gem on this was Battletruck. This was definitely a way more... It's actually a really enjoyable film, really well-told story, and yeah, I mean, for the price, two movies for the price of, one was great. I think you can get this double feature for like $10 right now on Amazon. I think it was like maybe 12 when it came out the first week, but yeah, this is really cool. I just recently picked up the original poster for Battletruck for like $10 at the Monster Mania convention, but yeah, this was really cool. This is, I'm excited for them to continue these double features, so yeah, it's a good one to have. Moving on, we're going to get into some Blu-rays. The first one I got was a film that I had been looking forward to for a while. I'd been keeping on track with it, so once it got released, I was excited to do a blind buy on it, and it's the Blu-ray edition of The Runaways, starring Kristen Stewart and Dakota Fanning. It's basically about, the all-girl band from the 70s, The Runaways. Joan Jett, is played by Kristen Stewart and stuff like that. So it's cool, there's a really cool cast. I think it captures that, that 70s time period really, really well. And it just goes to show, like the struggles and the pressure that, is put upon these four young girls, trying to compete in a music, a dominated, field where it's, basically men that are dominating it. So this was like the first girl group that really, took the world by storm. So it's a really interesting film. I thought the Blu-ray looked really good. The sound was absolutely ass-kicking on this one. So, yeah, if you guys are into the, biopic type things or, films about, music in the 70s or what have you, this is definitely one to check out. The performances were actually really good in this one. So it was worthy of the blind buy. Another Blu-ray for you guys, of course, The Karate Kid is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I believe I scooped that up in the last DVD update. So this time I was at Walmart, and they had a good deal. It was $15. I got The Karate Kid Part 2 on Blu-ray. So yeah, this is a nice one to have on the shelf, along with the original. I would really hope that they put, the third one out. I could live without the next Karate Kid, because we don't speak of that film. We don't even consider it part of the series. It was just a mere knockoff. It is not a sequel. So I really hope that Part 3 comes out, because I love the shit out of Part 3. But yeah, this is always a good one to have in the collection on Blu-ray, so awesome. The next one is actually from Shout Factory. They just recently put this out in July, and I picked it up at Walmart for like $12, and it's the special edition of the G.I. Joe movie. I haven't gotten the time to watch this, but from what I've heard, it looks cool. The movie, is pretty fun, of course, but the special features on this, there's an audio commentary with the writer and story consultant, Buzz Dixon, and apparently this DVD is worth the price because of the special features that include the public service announcements from the 80s that the cast from G.I. Joe did. So I am really excited to, go back in a time machine and check these out. So this is a really cool one to have, it's a pretty cheap price for that. Let's go ahead and get in some more Blu-rays, courtesy of Disney Pixar. I scooped up a bunch of Disney Pixar ones that I hadn't had in the collection yet. So the first one I got was 2006's Cars. I liked this film. This is like the one that people kind of rag on as, they watched it and they thought it was decent, but they thought that I think a lot of people unanimously try and say that this is Pixar's, weakest effort, but I kind of disagree. To be honest, I wasn't really the biggest fan of Finding Nemo, as crazy as that is, and I even thought that Ratatouille fell a little bit short. I thought the set design and just, how everything was, just the whole look of Ratatouille was really mind-blowing, but I liked Cars a little bit more than those two for some reason. So, yeah, go figure. My tastes on the Pixar movies, I think really, different, are just really unique and different compared to most people's. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, so this was one that I was happy to add to the collection. I love Disney and Pixar. I love them a lot. Another Blu-ray that I got is actually a Blu-ray DVD combo, and it was a blind buy, but it looked pretty funny. I kept seeing the the commercials for it, and it looked kind of funny, and it is the Blu Ray DVD combo of the cheesiest edition of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I was really surprised, actually. This is a really cool, like, throwback type movie. Like, it's a real, like, you know, really funny, like, coming-of-age story about, you know, a kid entering the 6th grade and just what goes along with, you know, entering middle school and stuff. And it's just, you know, dealing with older brothers, girls, bullies, and stuff like that. So it's really, really cool. And it's a cool little addition because apparently this was based on, like, the best-selling book of the same name. And it, like, kind of, you know, the packaging is kind of similar to, like, I guess, the book or something, or like the diary that the kid actually writes in. But yeah, it's really cool packaging, and I was really surprised on how funny and you know, throwback this was to, like, you know, films from my childhood. So yeah, I would absolutely recommend checking this one out. At the very least, rent it. It was funny. Another Blu-ray I got was probably one of my favorite films of 2010 at this point. It's the Blu-ray DVD combo of Kick-Ass. I saw this opening weekend with a group of people, and, you know, unanimously, everybody really, really dug it. It's a really kick-ass movie. It's hands down probably, you know, I'm a huge Nicolas Cage supporter. He's one of my favorite actors, but a lot of people shit on his work in, you know, later years. You know, I'm sure, yeah, they have, you know, some of his films haven't really been up to the best of par, but this definitely is, you know, a film that Nicolas Cage was included in that is probably the best thing he's done in the last 5 years. But it's about, you know, real people actually taking the plunge and, you know, wanting to become superheroes themselves, and it is awesome. I dug the hell out of this, and I haven't actually checked out the Blu-ray, but I've heard nothing but outstanding things about the video and audio aspects of it, so yeah, that's a kick-ass. Next one I got was another blind buy from a horror film that was held off for a while, and it just got dumped on DVD, and it stars Christina Ricci, Justin Long, and Liam Neeson. So it's funny that, you know, with a cast like that, how does something like that get dumped to DVD? But I'm talking about After.Life. And after seeing it, I can understand why, because I think this is probably a really hard film to market, and I don't know how they would have done it without, you know, getting less than dismal box office returns. But it's a weird one. I bought it without really knowing a whole lot about it, and I think that was all for the better, because I really liked watching this film and seeing it unravel before my eyes. But the performances in this are really, really good, and it's a real mindfuck of a movie. I mean, at one point, you know, a lot of times people may think that it was predictable and stuff like that, but I didn't really find it as predictable. It kept fucking with me. Like, I kept thinking that I had it all figured out, but then I would kind of second-guess myself again. So movies that really make you think like that, I think that's a sign that they're doing, you know, something well with the filmmaking. So yeah, I really liked this. This is a real diamond in the rough in this DVD update. It's a weird one though, but definitely check it out. Speaking of weird ones, I bought this documentary because I read fucked up things about it. I had it on pre-order, and it is the special edition of graphic sexual horror. This film is actually a documentary about a former professor at Carnegie Mellon University who started this website called Insects.com, and he had like 35,000 members paying $60 a month to view its content until the Department of Homeland Security mysteriously shut him down. This documentary will haunt you, it will fuck with your mind, and it will probably make you throw up. Like, out of all the shit that I've been subjected to, I thought that I was totally desensitized, nothing could really gross me out. Think again, because this documentary will fuck you for a week after you see it. The most fucked up images, you know, the interviews with the women that actually participate in, you know, the content that was actually put up on this website, it's just disturbing. It really, really is. So if you guys have a strong stomach and want to know about this seedy underworld that's presented in graphic sexual horror, check this out. It is wild, but, you know, I'm stressing that it's definitely not for the squeamish. I think I can squeeze in one more. I picked up the Blu-ray of A Bug's Life, another Pixar favorite. I liked this one a lot, and I heard that the Blu-ray treatment on this was really, really outstanding. This just came out not too long ago, just a couple of months ago, so I finally got around to getting it. There was a sale on Amazon, and I scooped it up for like 20 bucks. Well, I'll cut it off here, guys. Thanks again for tuning in to this DVD update, and I'll catch you at Part 3 of the September 7th DVD update. Thanks again for tuning in. This is Frightener22.